This Sonic game, this Tails game, is one on the Sega Pico. Just like the last game I covered. Yeah, I was not really a fan of the launch title, but this game is going to be different because it's a Tails game where its purpose is to teach kids music. Now I have no music knowledge at all, so I'm not exactly fit for this review, but did this game teach me some music concepts that I don't actually know, or will it just be a waste of time? Well, let's find out. So, in Sonic Game World, there was an unfinished plot, but let's see what this one has. That's the lore. Yep, the second Sega Pico Sonic game, and the last one, has absolutely no lore, which doesn't make quite sense to me, because unlike Sonic Racer, these have appropriate characters like Eggman, Sonic, and Tails, so I don't know why we don't have a story here. Kind of seems like a wasted opportunity. It would actually be cool if there was a music teaching game that has a cool little adventure, but you know, the lore is not really that important to a game. Let's just get to the minigame collection. Each section mainly has a few sound effects to work with the menu music and a couple minigames about music itself. The sound effects in each of the sections are sort of whatever, they're just sound effects that don't really sound good because it's on the Sega Pico. So let's just get to the minigames. The first minigame is a platformer where all the obstacles are coconuts that you don't take damage from, and pits that have springs so that you can't die, leading to the most boring platformer in existence, given that you cannot really die. In addition, there are 4 basic movements: stopping, running, tiptoeing, and jumping. And when you run, the song changes the sound. This is cool in theory, but for me it creates an annoying experience because both tracks are equally bad but sound very different, so it messes with your head and even gave me a headache. The second game is Frog Musical Chairs. Except for chairs, it's sleep pads. And there's actually some skill you need to use for this, given that you can jump to avoid the deadly lily pad, where if you land on it, you are out of the game. Every time you click, you and the other frogs will jump to the other lily pad, which forces you to try to go along with the tempo of the deadly lily pad. This to me was the second best minigame in this collection. I would give it first, but it got pretty boring after literally one round, and it is way too easy. The pinball game is no joke the worst pinball game I've ever played. The board itself is so bland and uneventful. The sound effects make me want to pull my ears out. The controls are stiff. How do they mess this up? It's literally Sonic. You have a pinball game, for crying out loud. The other game isn't that much better. It's just making sure you line up with a note with a certain musical line. You don't even need to use sound for this at all. It's completely visual and it's boring and tedious. Wow, this game may actually be worse than Sonic Game World. Let's see what the rest of the sections are. Section 3 only has one game, and that is a Cloner Breakout. And it's the worst Cloner Breakout. How did you guys fail Breakout? It's literally a game in the Pong era of video gaming. How do you mess it up? Well, the sound effects are really bad. You can't really die in this game, like I said a million times, which I know is kind of like a Breakout gimmick, but not really. It's very slow. It doesn't feel satisfying at all since sound effects are gone and the physics of the ball isn't really that eventful. This game impresses me on how much it fails. Section 4 is a big studio where you can play melodies on different instruments. But the real game is actually a good idea for music education. You play a song of an instrument that is played and you have to guess what instrument that is. However, this game is ruined by not giving the directions in the game, only legit in the manual, so I did not know what to do until I looked at the manual. And even if you get it right, there's legit like minimal amount of celebration, maybe a sound effect change, but doesn't really change or alter the mood. I guess it's infinitely playable, but I got bored really quickly because the sounds of the instruments kind of blend in, because this technology wasn't built for a music game, if you couldn't tell from this review. I don't know how you guys messed up a cool idea, but maybe you guys shouldn't build this music game where the audio has to be different to achieve your goals in these games. I don't even know. Let's just get to section 5 at this point. Section 5, it's just kick picks again. There's Sonic with the sound. He looks ugly as ever. This game is terrible. I don't even want to create a transition for this conclusion. This is the worst Sonic game I've ever played. I know I said it on game mode, by looking at other Sega games, and it's safe to say I think this is actually the worst one. There's no other Sega games to my knowledge that are on the Sega Pico. Even I remember playing Sonic Schoolhouse, and I remember that being better than this. I think this is the worst Sonic game. This is a 0. It literally, like, it feels like a school project. I was about to say that in my script, but honestly, that's too much of a compliment for this game. I feel like a 5-year-old on Scratch could create a better Sonic game than this. This is just an insult to music, to gaming, to the Sonic series, to Tails especially. They don't even get the shoes right. In conclusion, just play Wii music instead, and never play this game ever.